Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of Michael's Backyard Marina. Today I'm working on a Sea Sprite. It's a mid-80s version. It's got 140 horse OMC in it. I bought it this summer. I actually did a trade this summer to acquire this boat, and it hadn't been running for a long time. And so I did a little work on it, did a little checking out on some things, and I'll show you what all I did to it. And we'll fire this thing up. Okay, here's the motor that I worked on. It was pretty clean overall. One thing that the guy told me when I got it, he was pretty assured that the fuel pump was bad in it. So I swapped out fuel pumps, still didn't work. The pump I took out was questionable. The pump I put in was also questionable. So I went to a gravity feed just to see the things run. I've got it running through a fuel filter. I've rebuilt the carburetor. The carburetor was a pretty sad shape when I took it apart. Checked the compression on all the cylinders. All the cylinders are in great shape for compression wise. Reset the ignition on it and checked the oil level inside of it, and fired it up this morning. And now that it's cooled off and been sitting for a little while, I want to fire it up again and see how it's running. As always, let's make sure you got the muffs on. We need coolant going through the engine. You don't want this thing to overheat. You don't want to ruin your impeller. So always put the muffs on the lower unit first, like I have here, and turn your water on before you even think about starting that thing up. Okay, as you can see here, I got the water running, the muffs are on it, it's ready to fire up. We're going to pull it over here and see if that thing will fire up. Might still have to do a little tuning up on it, but I'm going to get it running good enough to store it away for the winter. And I'm going to winterize this boat. I'm going to show you how I winterized it on this same video. So let's fire it up and see what happens. These are fired right up. That's a good sign. One of the main things you want to do when you winterize the motor is you want to lubricate the top end of the motor. On a 2-stroke, that's not as critical as on a 4-stroke. So what I've got here is some CRC Marine Engine Store fogging oil. You want to use this, you're going to spray it directly into the carburetor. You're going to spray it, you hear it chug the motor a little bit, then I'm going to spray it in there heavy and I'm going to kill the motor. That stuff all over the top end. You're chugging it down pretty good there. I can drown the motor out with this pretty easily. What that does is lubricate the valves, the intake. I'm going to go ahead and spray it until I kill it now. Okay, that killed her out. What that did now, I've got the entire intake manifold, top end, combustion chambers, all got a lot of lube in it now. And that's the way it can sit all winter. If there's any moisture, humidity, or anything going on, I don't have to worry about it creating rust. The other thing you'd like to do in the springtime then is you would want to take and change out your spark plugs. You could do it right now. You can change the oil, change the spark plugs, and oil filter, and then this thing's ready to fire up and go next spring. On this motor, I still got some more work I want to do to it, so I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. I'm just trying to get it ready just to store safely for the winter. Okay folks, here's what I'm using. I got it from Napa, some RV and marine antifreeze. It's good down to 50 below. You want to take these hoses and pop it off. As you can see, there's just plain water coming out of there. This is going to be a little messy, but this is what you got to do. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to pour this down this hose here until I see nothing but paint coming out of this hole here. See all the clear water coming out? think it takes almost a gallon just to do this one. Starting to see a little pink coming out now. That's pretty pink coming out of there right now. This is all going in the bottom of my boat. I'm gonna tip the boat up and drain it out. We'll just go a little bit more here just to make sure. Yep, that's pretty solid and pink there. Now we can put this back on and we'll tighten up the clamp here in a minute. Now on the other side, got another hose. This is on the exhaust manifold. You're gonna pull this one off. You're gonna pour about a gallon through here. It's not going through there, is it? Interesting. Got a drain plug over here I'm gonna crack loose. That's pretty encouraging. So that water must run all the way through and fill that up as well, because now I'm draining. There's nothing but pink fluid coming out of here. See, it's taking fluid now. So now I know that that hose in that area is full of good antifreeze. This hose is stiff, boys. All right, we'll get that one back in place. And we'll tighten that clamp up here. This one here goes to the back end of the motor, down to the lower unit. So we're gonna dump this. Goes down all the way to the pump in the back end. So we want to get that water flushed out as well. There we go. We got lots of pink fluid. I don't know if you can see it here. Coming out on the ground back here. So that means I got water flushing all the way through the lower unit. Next step would be to put this hose back on and secure it. Alright. The other thing you want to make sure you do is when you run your motor for the last time, go ahead, it's starting to sprinkle out here a little bit of rain coming down. Cover up my intake here. Is you want to make sure that you're got your fuel stabilized with some stable fuel treatment, any kind of fuel stabilizer. So, and then it's a wise choice also to go ahead and change out all your lubes in the lower unit too. That way she's ready to go next spring as well. All right, thank you folks for watching. That's how I winterize my boat.